Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. I can tell you one thing today. It's a great day that the Lord has made, and let us be glad and rejoice in it. Today is our big meeting, so that's what I'm doing. It's our monthly meeting. I'm hauling stuff over to the meeting house. Usually takes 2 or 3 trips, and it's raining, as you can tell. You probably can hear it. And it's been a bit of a busy evening and overnight, partly because of these storms. Thankfully, we did pretty well. We had kind of a near miss. We had a tornado warning and a possible tornado on the ground coming at us, and just as it got kind of right into the edge of our area, it started breaking up and dissipating. So we've only had just lots of rain, which is also, we've got a lot of low creeks and stuff around here, so now we have to be watching out for flash flooding. But definitely some places in Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri have seen some pretty nasty weather over the last 12-18 hours. So keep those folks in your prayers that's gone through some pretty strong storms. I know there's been several tornadoes, at least that's what was reported. Last night I did the live stream, and for those of you that watched, you might have wondered why I abruptly ended the live stream. I forgot to tell you, I should have, and I forgot to tell you that I was on call last night, and I did get a call, and so I had to very quickly end the live stream. It was a snake bite call, which that's something you preppers should be coming up with a plan on how to deal with snake bites. And you don't need to be cutting the wound and sucking the venom out, because that doesn't work. You should have do some real research in what you should do with that. And then while I was on that call, I got another one for a vehicle accident. Was a drunk driver. So I was out till late last night, and then got up at around 4 or so because of these storms. So anyways, please come on out today to the meeting. For those of you that's been there before, it's the same time, same place. Should be a really good meeting. I know that there's a lot of rain and storms in the forecast today. My guess, and this is a guess, I'm not a meteorologist or anything like that. I think the severe stuff has passed, and I think we're just going to be dealing with strong storms for the rest of the day, and rain and stuff. So come on out, enjoy yourselves. We've got a couple of great speakers, a husband and wife doctor team. They're very big on natural healing, natural ways to take care of things, and to help you be able to kind of be your own home doctor in a way. Take care of yourself as much as possible. And so come on out and have some fun with us, with our family, because that's really what it is. That's what we're trying to do. It's not just a community, it's really a family where we all stick together. And we may not like each other all the time. I'm not going to tell you that it's always perfect and there's never any disagreements, but that's how families are, and in the end they stick together. So it's something that we all should be trying to build. These storms, I'm telling you, they're getting kind of gnarly, and I know it's that time of the year, and you could go back and say, well, back in 1903, we had storms worse than that. I'm not saying that they're the worst that's ever been. I'm just saying they're pretty strong. And first of all, I think it's a cycle that we're in. They spin all of this saying that, well, it's man-made global warming and carbon emissions and blah, blah, blah. When the truth is that the earth just goes through cycles. There's just cycles to it, and sometimes we're colder, sometimes we're hotter, sometimes the storms are worse than other times. And I think this is just a year for heat and storms. And then there's also, I'd say, some weather manipulation going on. I think it's a little bit of both. From a homesteading prepper's point of view, though, we have to be ready for this. I made a video a week or so ago about growing food this year, considering that the prediction is that it's going to be the hottest year on record. And it has been very hot in several places already. And if you look at the Atlantic temperatures and temperatures around the equator, there's some records being broken already, and it's just May. So will we see some seriously hot record temperatures? Very possible. And then the sun itself is, the radiation, the heat coming from it is just, it's making it more and more difficult to grow food. You have to water things more, you have to use shade cloth, just to get a similar level of production out of your plants. And so for us, we need to be thinking about this. This needs to be important to us. No, it's not as exciting as the Chinese invading us, or the next pandemic, or the dollar collapsing, or something like that, or the invasion at the southern border. But it's every bit as important, because if we are unable to grow food because of drastic weather changes, that's a big problem, because that should be a major priority in everyone's preparedness plan, is going out and growing food. And even if it's the meat kind of food, if it's hot and it's dry, it's going to be hard to get them the hay that they need. Maybe you're not going to be able to produce as much hay. Maybe the animals are going to struggle more because of the heat and the dryness. Maybe it's going to be more difficult for you to get water. Right now, most of us probably all have adequate sources of water for the most part. But if everything falls apart and we have this weather, that could make things very difficult. So we have to be thinking about the weather, and we should be, that should be part of your preparedness plan anyways, regardless of the weather. It should be included in there. So what happens in the wintertime? A lot of people die in the wintertime due to cold exposure. And what do you plan on doing if everything falls apart, if the lights go out, if the propane stops, trucking around, the natural gas stops flowing through the pipelines, whatever it is, and you're unable to heat your home, you have no electricity, what's your plan then? And it's cold. It's really cold. Look at Texas a couple of years ago when they had those major power outages, and they were, because of the cold, they were completely unprepared. And people were kind of losing their minds a little bit. I have family and stuff that lived in those areas, and they told me of stories of how the people around them, they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to do anything. They didn't know how to plan, how to prepare, how to survive, even though it was only a week or two without power in the middle of wintertime, in the middle of the cold weather, because they're just unprepared for that down there. So weather absolutely must be a high priority in your preparedness plan, and just where you live is going to dictate that. If you live along a coastal area, obviously hurricanes is going to be your priority. Midwest, it's going to be tornadoes. Up north, it's going to be very severe cold weather, lots of winter. And then everywhere you should be paying attention to heat and dryness, lack of water, less water at least. These things are every bit as important. They're every bit as important as an invading force that you have to go out there and get all your kit gear on and go fight them. It's not as exciting, but it's just as important. And so we have to be planning for that, figuring out your water, where are you going to get enough water, how are you going to stay cool, how are you going to stay warm, how are you going to cook things, how are you going to grow things, how are you going to keep your animals alive. All of these questions and more need to be asked by you folks, and don't put it on the back burner. The weather that we've had this year already, poor Oklahoma, man, they've been taking the full brunt of this. So if you don't know, ask an Oklahoman what it's like to have all these bad storms, because they've been getting hit pretty hard the last few weeks. We got to start getting these things ready. It's not just about planning for a tactical defense, or hiding in our bunkers, or just living off our freeze-dried food. It's really how to survive, how to work out a true survival plan. And part of that plan, a major part of that plan, is how to survive during bad and extreme weather. So make that part of your plan, put some effort into it, do some thinking, do some research, because it's very necessary. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order and to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.